Hello everyone, this is Planckera, and welcome to my universe. So, I decided that I just really felt like working on this drawing this week. So, I figured I'd do a few extra days. Rather than start a new thing, and I'll probably... I might start a new thing later this week, we'll see. We'll see what I feel like doing. But right now, I just wanted to do this one, so here, let's turn off the lighting for now. So the good news is that I still like the way the hand and face look. I do worry that the hand might still be a little bit too small. It's like I know part of it is covered by the frilly thing, but I don't know, I still think it might be a little small. But besides that, I think it's all looking pretty good, so I think I'll finish rendering off her face here. After I find a size that I enjoy for her hand here. Since that will affect where I put shadows and whatnot. And then I'll go from there. Probably do some more work on, like, the body and stuff, too, today. And that'll be pretty nice. Okay. And in that case, the forearm is a little bit small, so I'll go ahead and push him down a little bit too. Might need to make the top just very, very slightly thicker as well. That's kind of the funny thing about proportions. You change one thing and then suddenly you have to change everything, because proportions are about how things relate to each other, not any, like... this thing needs to be this size on the canvas. Nah, it's about relative size. The size relative to everything else. So let's see. Is that better? Is her hand small? I'm just asking myself these questions real quick. Gonna reference my own hand for a moment. Give me just a sec. Do I feel like this hand could go from about here to about here? Yes. Okay, before I start rendering the face, I'm gonna make sure that I actually like this. And I will erase this little chunk here that's sticking out because otherwise it'll bother me. So I'm gonna take a break from this area, and I'm gonna make sure I still like it in 5 minutes. Very, very important thing. I find this very useful to do when I'm looking at proportions, because sometimes I'll be like, yeah, this looks fine, and then I look at it the next day and I'm just like, why did I think that looked fine? So, I would rather just hold off for a second. I guess while I'm holding off for a second, I'm gonna go visit her arm here. And some of that, I'm not gonna, like, render it fully. And I'm not even going to start adding all of the little details there. You'll see there's lots of little details going on the arm thingies here. Not going to do that yet. What I want to do is I want to start defining how her arm is tilted. So when I look at it relative to the hand, when I look at how this is lit right now, it kind of looks like her arm is sideways. Exactly. Exactly. And good morning again, Liger. Welcome back. Alright. So yeah, with the way that hand is there, it's like the arm is going to be... if you look at your own arm, there's like a thick part and a thin part. I consider the thick part the side that's going to be on the same side as like the back of your hand here, where if you measured across it, it's a little bit thicker, and then if you look at the side of your arm, it's a little bit thinner. And right now, for whatever reason, it looks like... might be easier to explain with a dash of hot pink here. So if we have this part going here, based on where the hand is here, then I would expect the back of her arm to, you know, be more like this. It's just gonna go down, right? But if we look at that top part of her arm right now, it looks like it's kind of tilted this way. So the center of it is actually Oops. No, don't cut them. The center of it is actually like back here. And then for some reason comes back out here. And that's a bit silly. So I do feel like I need to adjust the way this is lit right now. I want it to be more like the hand comes out and then it comes down. This center point I think is fine. So that's going to be the idea there. And fortunately, it's very, very easy. All I have to do is move where the lights are. So here we're going to see the power of just slight lighting changes. And would you look at that? I have completely changed the angle of the arm in like one brush stroke. I'll even clean it up a little, just to use an extra one, even though I don't really need to. Yay! The angle of the arm is now more correct. Sometimes it's really not that hard. So, that's about all I wanted to do there. And now I kind of want to think about the angle of the arm where it connects to her shoulder and kind of her chest area. Because I am still having a little bit of trouble with it. Okay. So, when I think about where the light is hitting the arm, I think the entire thing will be in shadow, but I'm just going to add a little light spot for now, just to help me understand how it's moving. I think it's like this. And then this will continue further up, but I just don't want to draw that on that part of the layer. So we see the side of her arm here. And I think that is correct. We obviously shouldn't see anything on her back. And then I just want to figure out how this relates to her side here, because I just do not feel like her chest area is right yet. So that is what I want to look at next. I think this might still need to go a little bit higher. Try to get that a little bit more centered. God. So I've been drawing for a very long time with varying degrees of seriousness, like if we're going to, for when I decided I kind of wanted to, that I liked it and I was like kind of trying to get good, it would probably be like 15 years. But if we're talking like when I really started to take it seriously, like during that time I would take like months, sometimes even year breaks where I just didn't draw at all. If we're talking when I really started taking it seriously, started drawing like almost every day and whatnot, that'd probably be like 2 or 3 years. Probably closer to 3 by now. Actually, you know what? I can find an exact date. Because I know exactly the picture I uploaded. When I was like, okay, art is serious business now. I am going to get good. And it's going to be great. And that's when I started drawing like every day, all the time. Where are you? Here we are. Let's see, August 13th, 2022. So yeah, about 3 is when I was super serious mode. But before then, you know, I just kind of did it for fun. And I just was not very consistent with it. So, yeah, it's a good time. It's like, I'm not sure if I'd go as far as to call myself an expert, but I think my skills have developed nicely. And I'm feeling pretty good about what I make now. I just like to try to explain a little bit about what I'm thinking and whatnot, and I don't know. It's one of those things where even if a person isn't necessarily interested in drawing themselves, sometimes just seeing it can be interesting. So I just try to explain what's going on in my head. I do my best. Yeah. Yeah, it's a good time, and frankly, just trying to explain what I'm doing has, I think, helped me understand my own process better, and also, maybe even find flaws in what I'm doing, so I think it's actually helped me improve my art as well. So, pretty cool. Stream was a great time. I've been having a lot of fun doing it. So here, I felt like her arm was a little bit thin, so I'm kind of trying to figure out where this part should live. And here, I felt like her shoulder was maybe a little bit wide, so I'm pushing that. Although now I feel like it's thin again, so who knows? Well, I mean, to be fair, most of my time here, it's only relatively recently that I started getting viewers on a regular basis, and even when I had some viewers, a lot of the time I had no chatters, so I was mostly talking to myself. But I am always happy to talk about anything. But that's basically my logic for everything. That's why I say I kind of hesitate to call myself an expert here, but I think I know enough that I can say some interesting things. And I can at least explain what I'm thinking. Where the heck should this shoulder go? I mean, part of it I know is that her head isn't sitting quite right. It's a little bit unnatural. I kind of liked it that way, but maybe I should scooch it over a little. Okay. Okay, and that might help me place the shoulder. I also don't want it to be, like, rubbing right up against her hand. Well, thank you. It's okay, I just think art is a good time. And I think more people should do it. Not even necessarily just, drawing stuff. I mean, drawing stuff is great, and if people are interested in drawing stuff, then I think they should go for it. But there's a lot more creative outlets out there than I think people give credit for. That's why at some point I'd like to do some programming streams. I just haven't had anything in particular I've wanted to make programming-wise, so I haven't done it. But I think there's lots of cool things out there, and I think people should go out and make cool things. Okay, and I think once I fix her neck, that should look pretty alright. Head definitely is big, but that was actually kind of intentional because I wanted it to come a little further forward. It just doesn't really look that way because of where I had to... because of the head angle. Where it's kind of tilted back. I don't know, can I make it a little bit lower? I kind of can. I do. Well, I mean... programming is what I did professionally for quite a while. And... I'm hoping at some point to, like, design games on stream. It's just, you know, I actually have to have enough down to actually be able to make that. And that's... unfortunately, the design process I wouldn't really want to stream because that's a lot of I don't know, I'm walking down the street and I suddenly get an idea. And sitting down awkwardly flailing for 3 hours would be awkward, as you might imagine. So I need to have enough built before I can actually do anything like that. And I don't know, I could probably just do random programming things if I wanted to. I just haven't had any particular ideas. And I think I would cringe, just die of cringe if I went in and like refresh myself on how Salesforce worked. I'm pretty okay with not touching Salesforce anymore. Anyway, I'm sure there are people that would watch that, but it's fine. It's one of those things. That's where I need an idea. And unfortunately, drawing fan art in terms of ideas is a pretty low bar, so I can generally always come up with something. But I feel like when you're doing a programming stream, you need to see a result. With art, it's super easy. You just look at the screen and you see it. But with programming, it has to do something. Oh, nice. It's okay, super basic straight. Super basic shapes is how you get started, and triangles are fantastic. You'll draw so many triangles. Circles are also pretty great. Okay, arm looks better, shoulders look better, I think. Are they in good spots? Do I need to move the neck a little further to the right? The questions I must ask myself. I've always been had a little bit of trouble with shoulders and arms, so I want to make sure that they are looking good here, and I'm going to try moving the neck just very, very slightly to the right here. Probably move the head along with it. Let's do that. Very, very slightly. Yes. Gonna make her bald for a second. Don't worry about it. Yes. Okay. A little of both. I'm sure that sounds weird. But you need an idea to get you started. And then a lot of the time, figure out the specifics as I go along. One good example is when I was doing her eyes. You can see that there's a slight tilt upward here. That wasn't in my initial idea. In fact, when I initially drew them, they were flat at the bottom, because that's how eyes normally look. But then I thought about it, and I was like, huh, you know, with the way this mouth is, I bet that eyelash would be pushed really high up. In fact, I think I want to do it a little bit more. So, you know, like this. And when I saw it, I was just like, oh man, that's perfect. Let's do it. So, I mean, it is a little of both. So, I still like that. Let's do it. I'll have that one be a little bit more pushed up than this one, since this side is so much higher. Anywho, yeah, but I do tend to have a general idea at the beginning. Let's see, for this one specifically, I knew I wanted her to be in a big full moon with a neat gothic castle. And I had the kind of pose of her leaning forward and just kind of looking down at the viewer somewhat suspiciously. But a lot of the expression, I didn't actually know what to do with this hand at first, and I kind of messed around with that at the beginning. And stuff like that, that came later. And in the background, this was actually the second attempt at clouds. I did not have the magic circle at first, and I added that later, and there was no water in the beginning and stuff like that. It kind of comes. Exactly. I mean, I feel like most art, visual or otherwise. It is more about imparting a feeling than anything else, honestly. It's true of writing, it's true of games, and just anything you can think of, really. Okay, I want to do some science. So I'm going to duplicate my layer because I am scared. So basically, I am still not satisfied with how this looks, so I'm going to go ahead and try something like this. I have an idea, don't worry about it. Couldn't I hide you? Okay, there we go. Okay, let me see here. Let me see here. Instead of erasing, I'll just go ahead and make it darker. But right now, I don't particularly feel like we were seeing the side of this properly, so I feel like I kind of have to flatten that out just a little, and I'm not sure what to expect. But basically, this area has it just still looks weird to me, and I don't know why. Driving me a little bit insane. I should definitely not draw that on that layer. I'm gonna go ahead and make a new layer for this too, since this is all science. And I'll just see what I get and see if this helps any. Like, this one looks fine to me, but this one just still feels off. And I'm wondering how much of it is the angle that I have it at. I'll smooth it out again once I'm satisfied. Have it go more straight down. Because it's like, if you look at the side view here, it goes pretty straight down. Kind of follows the shape of her chest there. So maybe something a little bit more like this. Okay, and if I take my experimental layer here, just kind of plop in some of this. Does this look better? That's the question. Does it look better? Maybe. Let me compare it to the other one. Yeah, I'd say that's a little better. It's still not completely right. I think this needs to curve a little, but I think I'm on the right track. So let's see what I can do. Perspective is hard, man. I'm just trying to... Let me break out the hot pink again. When in doubt, just hot pink. Alright. So... let me also go poke at the body real quick. Because I'm using this to kind of define the side of the body here. And it should go a little bit more this way, actually. Let me kind of erase some stuff here. And let this just really define the side there. Okay. And then down here. Put in a little guy there. Okay. So there, I think that looks pretty good for how her body is tilted. Right? Maybe not. Hot pink. Body. It does something like this. This is where the side of the body is. So then this should come from, like, the armpit roughly. I guess I'll use cyan for that. So it kind of comes out. Armpit there. Like, this side I think is fine. So how does it go out? Because that's not right. We're seeing it from the bottom. And right now, once again, I kind of feel like we're seeing it from the top. And that's just not the case. This is... there's supposed to be like a plane here. And right now, that does not look planey. Alright, lady, I need your help again. This is why I haven't removed this yet. So I guess it kind of comes... Let me find the bottom plane here. Okay, so there's a plane, and if I were to do the top plane, I'll do it in red. It would be something like this. And it just goes up like that. And it should curve back like this. And we have the bottom plane doing a thing here. It'll come out, and we'll see the side of both of them somewhere around here. Let's just draw a shape and see if I can figure out how these triangles work together. I'm thinking of basically of a triangular prism. So this is that side, and then I just know that we see the side of it here, but what does it look like? What does it look like? Black isn't gonna work here. Will white? I guess white will. So what, do they just connect? Does it just connect like that? I don't think so. What does it... Okay, I need to go back to simple shapes here. Oh, the joy of rambling to myself. Okay, let's see. So if I were to draw a 3D triangle, I do something like this. And if I want to draw that kind of shape, I have the triangle doing this, I guess. This is what I'm trying to do. So yes, this kind of thing is correct. So I want to think about how this line sits on the body. Okay, so that's where I'm getting tripped up. I got it now. Alright, so I have the hot pink here. Let's get rid of this side here. That's going to be the side of the body. So I want that I want my big triangle to clip onto the side there. And it should be at this angle. Yes. So if I liquefy you to conform to that angle, it'll be like this. And actually, I think you should be a little bit more, slanted here. Can I not transform this? There we go. A little bit more slanted here. Okay, I am understanding now. Sometimes you just gotta go back to basics. I'll go ahead and use my neon mess to help me place everything afterward. Neon colors are fantastic. They're so helpful. So helpful. So I'm just kind of poking around until this triangle looks correct to my eyes. Like, I don't think she's tilted that far, so kind of want to push some of it back. So something like that I think should work. Alright, let's reduce the opacity on all of this. And I can use it to help paint the rest. So the way I have this set up... Alright, I think I got it. I'm gonna use the original. I think that will just make my life a little bit easier. So this should come much further up here. And then we round things up considerably here. Probably push this down just a little. Push this in just a little. And I will adjust my shading accordingly. But right now, I am going to trust my silly lines. So there's the side right there. Okay. Now I'm gonna get my dark color, and it's like this. Okay. And that should help it a little. Then this part will come down like straight. What is straight at this angle? Center line is like this. So straight would come like this way. Okay. So straight, and then it'll come up on the side here. Alright, how's that? Yeah, I think that looks better. Okay. Dropping down just a little bit here. And then I'll have to like realign everything, and there will be some shenanigans. It's fine. I can deal with a few shenanigans. But man, with as much trouble as they've been giving me, I'll be glad when I am finally happy with how they look. Which means it is time to not look there again. So that means I can go back to her hand and face and make sure that the hand, I think, is a good size. Are you a good size hand? I think so. Alright, that's good news. Now I just want to make sure it's on the right spot on her cheek. I want it a little bit lower than that. Okay, and I will push the arm down accordingly. Probably rotate it just a little bit here. There we go. Want to double check and make sure that I like the way the hand looks. That other than the shadow from this, I think all of the rest looks okay. So I don't think I have big corrections to do there, and I am glad because I don't want to have to draw the hand again. Alright, let's attach the rest of the arm here. are. They are quite hard. Okay, before I go and do some of that, I want to do some lighting on this. Like, I'm not going to render everything, but I want to make sure that the parts facing the light look like they're facing the light here. That is important. And I do think that it curves this way. Let me think about that. Okay, if I have my triangle, we had an itch there. Okay. All good. All right. Let's see. If I have this facing this way, how will that curve? Like this? Yes? How will this side curve? Like this? This will come down. I think they are too close together. That might be part of my trouble. Okay. Gotta separate them just a little here. Okay, and then I want it to follow the angles here. So her body's going this way. So they should go this way as well. So where is this way for this one? This side I just feel like is big, so I'm gonna go push it in just a little. Okay. See, this is why I wanted to look away for a second. And then I looked back and I was like, no, I don't think that's quite right. I still feel like this part is too close to her armpit. So let's get it following her body again. So if I were to think of it three-dimensionally. Yeah, we see this side rather. I'm going to use the cyan just as a temporary measure. And it'll be kind of like this. If I think of it in terms of boxes. Because, like, side is somewhere around here. And then we see the side. We see it from the bottom, so... we don't see the top. I mean, it's weird because, like I said, it's a triangle in this case, not a cube. But I'm trying to think of it in terms of cubes, so... if I think of this as the front, we'd get something like this, where we see mostly the bottom come up the side. And this is a very poorly drawn cube, but it's fine. It's fine for my purposes. And I'm confusing myself again, so one moment while I regather myself. Okay. Boop. 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 Connect the lines. And that's probably where I was getting thrown off. Okay. So boop, boop, boop. There's the side. Okay. Okay. So where is this, the apex of the chest cup here? The thing surrounding it. You know, the thing that I am trying to draw. Where is it exactly? Okay. Center line of the chest is... I actually think that I have this in a pretty good spot to find me the center line, so I think I do have that in a good spot. Perspective, still hard. Okay, I'm gonna be a little bit more explicit about making this triangular. So this is the bottom. Does the center connect at the bottom here? Yes. It does go down into the bottom half. So I can push this down just a little here. And then this angle needs to follow the direction of the body. Perfect. And then this part needs to follow the direction of the body. So that'll be more like this. Okay. It's alright, just... if I get lost, I gotta go back to basics. Okay. Now this side should follow the direction of the body. Okay. And then if I'm thinking of this... this is the bottom. This is the top. Let's erase some of this just so I can see the body a little bit better. And I will just draw this part all the way down. This is the side of the body. Back there somewhere is probably her hips and stuff, and that is not relevant to my interest right now, so I'm not going to worry about it. Not gonna worry about it. So this is where the top half of the torso is. I mean, you still kind of can, because hands are hard. And all AI really does is amalgamate all the human data it could find. So, of course, if humans have trouble with something, the computers will too. Okay. Look. And hello there, Tito. But look, someday I will get the perspective on this right. I believe in myself. Okay, where's my triangle? So what I wanted to do... I see. So, I think my next problem. I'm treating the top half and the bottom half as though they should be the same size, and this is not true. Gotta send this back. And then these light parts are... like that, and... I think I get closer every time I try. But there's just some awkward kind of foreshortening here. Because she is, you know, leaning towards us, and I am just... having a time figuring out where all this should go. Okay, so we follow the direction of the body. Right. Follow the direction of the body. It is curving this way. This part will overlap a little bit with this side. Come down more like that. In theory. Okay. I defined my lights again. Follow the angle of the body, like this. So it's like this. And then from there, following the angle of the triangle, which, to be fair, I've moved things around a little bit here. We just get this triangle sitting on there well. And send it back. Okay. Although I feel like the top half and the bottom half of this are the same size. Probably shouldn't be like that. Okay, I'm gonna cover everything. And get this triangle to sit where I think it should again. So this should be the top of the chest, roughly. And this is gonna be the bottom. And I have the side defined over here. Let's make sure I have the side of the body defined well. There we go. I do believe that is defined well. It's okay. This is just what I do when the perspective is not perspectiving. Okay. So before I get that part on, this is the side of my triangle. And how should the side of the triangle sit? Let me close my eyes and picture it. Is the side of the triangle the same as the side of her body? At this angle, I don't think that they quite overlap perfectly. I think this is actually a little bit steeper. Okay. And then I should define how long it is, too. Where do I want the top and bottom of the chest to be? relative to where I put this, does that look correct? I think that this guy should actually be just a little bit higher. At this angle, I think it makes sense for it to overlap with the frills just a little bit. It's kind of like right in the middle of her collarbones here. Yeah, the spiky parts are sitting on the collarbones. Right now, the neck looks a little bit thick. I'm gonna go and fix that too. Okay. Sometimes I ask myself why I always like to go for complicated poses. Because I always struggle. But frankly, I think part of me enjoys the struggle, so it's fine. It's just one of those things. Okay. Yes, so that seems alright. So now I can figure out where I want the top of her chest to be relative to this. So because of the way it's angled, where we see like a piece of the front of her shoulders here, and then it kind of goes back. I think this collarbone is actually in the wrong spot. Because I think the pit of her neck is more right there, which would make this much higher. I don't really want to affect the edge, so I might just have to go draw it instead of liquefying it. Okay, let's do that. And then this side goes more down. And then this is just an arm, so I'm fine with leaving that there. Then my light color. Kind of goes back a little and then... It's a little bit more like this. Is that right? She's leaning forward. How much of your shoulders do I see? A little bit more on this side. So I'll bring this down just a little. I will have to fill in this gap in her shoulder here. I kind of want to get the shape mostly right. Okay. I'm going to adjust the necklace now, just the necklace part. I think I just made it a little bit too thick. Because it is pretty thin here. And the frills themselves, I think, are even thinner than what I have. So I'm mostly just making it thinner. I want it to be sitting at roughly the same point. The same rough spot on her neck, which is a little bit more in the center of where I have her shoulders because she's leaning forward. So if I were to actually hide this for now, what I think her neck does, and this is why I have the neck on a separate layer right now, is it kind of comes down and around like this. So it does actually sit here. Because it is going forward. So I think that something like this is actually correct. And that would indeed make the pit of her neck somewhere... probably, yeah, like right about there. Probably shouldn't draw this on the neck layer, actually. Okay. Let's draw this on the body layer. So yeah, pit of the neck, probably like right here. Just the body and her neck are kind of like going opposite directions, so it's a little bit weird. But it's fine, I can make it work. There's just a slight twist going on in there. Okay, and I'm gonna make her bald again for just a sec so I can see her shoulders more clearly. There we go. We got some more baldness here. So this shoulder, I think, just goes down. This one looks fine to me, but this one just goes down. Don't mind the arm sticking out, it's fine. We see a little bit more of the top here. So this is the part that is more pointing towards us. So we see the round part of the shoulder here. And then it'll come down here. And kind of connect to everything. But the body's going that way. Just the shoulders are a little bit longer than the rest of the body. So this one's also going this way. And then this comes up here. Armpit's going to be somewhere around there. I'm trying to respect the angle there. Okay. And then her arm is coming up there, but I don't think it's coming up that hard. So I'm going to take this back just a little. So there's like a small, subtle twist here. Okay. And then from there, we have the center line of the body, like roughly here, I think. Let me see. Let me hide my... I guess I don't need to hide my pink. I can see it clearly here. Here, center... Right about there, I guess. So this should be a little bit more like this. I'm just gonna reconstruct the entire dang thing here. I'll take my bright light. So collarbone should... How are they shaped? Let me feel mine real quick. Yeah. Okay. So roughly straight here. Then it kind of goes back a little. And kind of goes back out. Not there, though. That needs to be longer through here. Then it kind of goes back a little. And then back mostly horizontally. Back out here. Okay. Then kind of the same over here. Where we get this. Actually, should this side be a little bit lower? Kind of goes back a little bit. And then connects out there. So this one's a lot straighter. That seems correct. I don't think it looks terrible. Okay. I think I'm just going to redraw the frills from scratch, honestly. So let's redraw that. So with the way her body's going, it's more sitting on her neck than her body. So I do believe I can just do one constant around. So I see that it kind of connects along the, you know, the big shoulder, or the big muscle on your shoulder there, where the shoulders kind of connect into the neck. That's always where my muscles get really stiff and I have to massage them a lot. I always have problems with that one. So that's the one that it connects to. And so the pit of the neck is going to be down here. So that would be this guy. And indeed, the little diamond thingy is sitting on that. So I think I have that right. Let me make its angle look a little nicer while I have the chance. Gonna have it follow the flow of the body. And then the little bat things coming up here. Okay, and I want to... Actually, I guess I'll just draw it instead of liquefying. This part here, it is not right. And it's worth noting that with the tilt of the body, I have the center line going down here for this. This is correct. But the center line on the top of the shoulders is going to go back this way. So I should keep that in mind too. I'll just leave it there. It can be white for now. God, I look forward to the day where I can draw cool poses without flailing with my perspective or proportions. I have been working on it. But flailing sucks. That's all I can say. Flailing, it really kind of sucks. What are you shaped like? Are you just a triangle? Ah, you are just a triangle. You have been deceiving me. You are not diamond-shaped. You are triangular. Okay, I'm just gonna redraw the whole thing then. Sneaky, sneaky triangle. Let's see, do I have your color somewhere here? Okay. Well, that makes this easier if I just draw a nice triangle then. So the center is going to be like right about there. Indeed, kind of sitting at the base of the shoulders there, so I think here's about right. My brain got it wrong. It's just a triangle. Triangles are way easier to draw than the shape I was trying to draw, so I will take it. So this is interesting because what I want to do is make sure that this triangle is pointing the right direction. And once again, following the flow of her body, but hold on. Am I being deceived again? Am I being deceived again? Do I need to perspective this? Just a little, I think. Yeah, I think that looks pretty good. All right, and then there is a little diamond bit coming out of it. I guess I can put in a couple of the details now, just because I think it might legitimately help me see where the perspective is. So for the diamond thingy, I think I need 2 colors for this. The actual color of the diamond and then where the center of it's going to be. So this is going to be like the shiny part. And we mostly see the bottom. Right? Yes. So that shape is not correct. Okay. Do I have that sized right? Looks like it's about the same size of her eye. So while on mine, it'll be a little bit less because her eyes are a little bit wide here, I think I still have it a little bit too small. That's pretty good. Okay. So I think this size can be trusted. Oh no, body's going that way. I want the bottom of this triangle to line up with the angle of her shoulders here. Okay. That seems alright. Gem takes up most of the space. We'll see a little bit more of the bottom than usual. So I'm going to put it a little bit higher up than I ordinarily would. So perhaps something like this. And we see a little bit of the top here. A lot of the bottom. So probably something like that in theory. Definitely needs to take up more space, but I think it makes sense for a little bit to be hanging over the edge at this angle. So I think something like that is right. Okay. Yes, I think that this is okay. Let me get the center line looking a little better. And then this part will come up. And then down. Okay. And then we have this little diamond shaped thing right there. I'll go ahead and draw that too. What are you shaped like? A little bit flat at the top. And then comes out and down. So I'm pretty sure that's not right, but it's a start. And I think I will once again use some white to kind of help me define the centers. So this part will be coming up and then down. So the center line should be like this. Again, kind of respecting the angle of the body here. So something kind of like that, I think. Let's align the tip there. Okay, then I think that's okay. Alright, I'll go with that for now. Okay, and then we have the part sitting on the base of her neck here. So that's going to be like here. And it's pretty thin. It's pretty thin. Let's let it wrap all the way around. Okay, and then the frilly bit. So you look like not quite the same color as the clothes, actually. Is that thick enough? That is not thick enough. Let's make it a little bit thicker then. Okay. So let's see, I wanted to respect the angle of the body. So that's going this way. The shoulders are going a little further back. So this angle should be more like this, where it kind of sits on her neck there. Kind of the same with this one. It should come out and point in this direction. Okay. And then frilly bits. We'll see more of the top ones. How big are the frills? I'd say each one is about the same length as the necklace itself. I'm trying to make the ones on top kind of lean forward a little. Doesn't really look like it yet because some of the necklace parts are in kind of the wrong place for it. But I'll cut into the necklace layer itself, and that'll make it look better. There we go. That's some of the frills just kind of overlapping, being on top of the necklace. And I think that's fine until I'm ready to, like, finalize the details there. Okay. Looks more proportionate to me. Necklace is too small, or neck is too large. Could be either. I think its necklace is too small. Get this back around. So it's actually sitting on it. Gonna push these guys out just a little and then up, where I think that they're kind of overlapping her shoulder a little. And this shoulder is just pushing them up a little. But this side doesn't, so that's gonna be like their actual size. Let's give her hair. Yeah, so we're seeing a little bit more of her neck here because it's tilted back. But perhaps I still have her neck a little bit long, so let's lower the head just a little. And I will raise her up just a little here. Okay. Yes? Yes? Maybe? Perhaps. Okay. Well, I'll think about it. I do think it's better. So I say, eventually I'll work my way through all that. Eventually I'll figure it out. Let me go look at my reference image again. Boop. 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 So I'm trying to find all the center lines in her body. So this center line is like this, and this one does indeed kind of go back. And then her neck is something else entirely, don't worry about it. The neck actually does have a completely different angle just because I mean, it's pointing a different direction, right? It's coming out of the shoulders. It's not part of the shoulders. So, boop. Man, there's just so many little twists in this. It's amazing. Okay. And mine is angled just a little bit differently here. So for me, the center line does this, and then goes back. And then we have the side there, where all my lovely hot pink is. Okay, so let's see if I can actually draw this now. I do think that I have the center very clearly defined. I do think all of that is in the right spot. I do think I could even draw the collarbones like this, and they'd probably look okay. So now I can figure out where this goes. And I don't want to completely start over. I'm not sure how mad YouTube gets about these things. Even though I don't have anything detailed underneath, but if I were drawing on my own, I'd probably just start over. But I'm not, so here we go. Center. Here. Side. Here. I do believe that these will stick out a little further from the side. No, I assume that you guys would be fine with it, because humans that look at things can tell the difference, but I don't want to get banned, basically, for drawing topless ladies. Even though I'm clearly not doing that, I don't trust YouTube. It is very neurotic sometimes. So I'll leave the top on. Okay. So if I were to draw some center lines again, I guess I'll do it on a different layer, just to make my life easier. So we got... Again, I think this is roughly where the center of them is going to be. And where the straps go is not in the center, it's more on the side. So I believe that this is going to be where the center is. I trust nothing. And I mean, I agree, it's obviously ridiculous, but I do not trust YouTube. Okay, so we got the center going down here. Let's see, I don't think that angle is quite right still. Just based on how I have this pointing. And to be fair, I'm not convinced that I have this pointing in the perfect direction, but this triangle I think is very trustworthy. So I'm gonna look at the triangle. Okay. So that'll be the top. And where do I think the top stops? The top of her chest area here. Of her upper torso, I guess. Or does it stop over there? I think, just based on where I have this triangle placed, I think that this is about right. Actually, I think I should probably have the triangle a little bit higher. Where's my center line? So something like that. Maybe a little bit more. Okay. So there's triangle. I am going to adjust my guide angles a little bit here. I think this one actually comes a little bit further this way. And this one is a little bit further this way. So there's the top. The distance between this part and top there, about like this. So there's gonna be like, I will use yellow for this. A triangle. So this is one part. I want it up on top of all this. This is one part. This is the point where I think the area between the two cups is another one. So I think we'll have a diamond going out here, here, here. Okay, so that should give me an idea of where some of these other things should sit, and I do think that looks like it is in perspective. Yeah, that looks like it's in perspective to me. So I think I can assume that this will be out like this, come down like this, meet at the middle here, go out like this, come down and around like this. Maybe the center is a little bit off. Yeah, it needs to follow the center line a little better. Okay, I was close. I'll take it. Okay. Okay, so there's the center. So we have the top, we have the bottom. So let me go back to my guideline. How is the bottom gonna work out? So if I have my center like right there, they're pointing kind of this way. Then they'll wrap like this. Okay. And so then things will kind of come out and around. And I do think that they overlap slightly. So I think this looks okay so far. Okay. So hopefully a shape like that. I will believe in my random guidelines here. To be fair, they're not, like, completely accurate, probably. So I should take them with a grain of salt, but I can believe to an extent. God, I look forward to the day that I just finally have all this right. And everything will just stop looking so weird to me. Because this is where one of the big twists in her pose is. So I gotta have the perspective right in order to actually make the pose read correctly. And so it has been driving me slightly insane. Because something about the whole thing has just felt off to me for a while. And I am hoping that finally getting this right will help me out. I do feel like this is not in the right place. Which means that maybe it's the body that's not in the right place? I thought I had the body pretty good, though. Let's make her bald. Because, like, I feel like if I erase part of the body back here, things won't look right anymore. Let's find out. Maybe I do just have too much drawn there. What would I have to do to make that look right? Feels like this one is tilted too far to the side now. So did I have it right before then? Maybe I did. Maybe I did, actually. Okay, I'm gonna look away from this for a second again, I think. Let me see, does it look at all right now? No. I don't think it does. So something's still not reading quite right in my head. Art is hard. I gotta take a break and go do her face. Because I think that the hand and arm and stuff, I think it all looks good. So I think I can do that. I guess first, I have a thing to fix in my hand frills. Oop. Okay. Oh, better. Okay. So let's see, is there anything I want to fix in the hand first? One thing. I want to fix the shadows cast by little frilly things here. I think they need to be a little bit bigger. To be fair, things moved around quite a bit, so I'm not surprised that it needs to change a little bit. Not in the slightest. Okay. And now, guess I'll head on down to the head. Let's see. I think I want this hand to be a little bit more on her cheek rather than like right under her eye. She doesn't need to be poking herself in the face. That sounds painful. Let's bring it about down there. Okay. There we go. And that means I have less random stuff to do to fix the shadows. Which will also be nice. Okay, so first thing first. Let's get these guys. Let's just get all the spots covered by the hand. And then I can kind of freely derp around. I want to keep the shadows very, very small here. Because it's supposed to be like... Her fingers are supposed to be pressed up like right against her skin. And this will sell that kind of effect. Making the shadows very, very thin and very, very dark. And since my light source is coming from the bottom, I'm kind of paying attention to that here. And I'm putting just a little bit of extra shadow on the areas that are on top. I'll probably want to smooth it out just a little bit, but for the most part, I think this is okay. Gonna make it a little bit lighter right through here. But I'm being very particular about the location here. Very, very particular. Okay. Okay. So now I'm getting into some of the other details there. I'm just doing this little chin line first. When I was looking at a bunch of photo references of people's faces being lit from the bottom, I found that this little line on the chin was very, very soft. Everywhere except like the very bottom of it here. So it's going to be a bit harder at the bottom there. Maybe not this hard, but afterwards I just kind of want it to fade into nothing. Just have a very, very smooth transition. So something like that. And then I just kind of want this entire area at the bottom just to be slightly lighter than everywhere else. The main light is going to be just here. And when it comes time to add my atmospheric lighting at the end, this area will get some extra light, so I'm not too worried about the contrast between these two spots right just yet. It will be fixed. I am not worried. Okay. So I just want a little bit of extra shadow here just to make her look extra smirky. It's just one of those things. There we go. And let's see. Yeah, I think the rest of that is fine. Let's go ahead and shore up the nose a bit. I probably won't give her nostrils. I'm thinking about it, but I don't think I will. I just think it looks weird. I'll just make it a little bit less triangle-y. So a little bit softer through there. I don't know, do I have to add the nostrils? I might. Let's take a couple little spots off of my triangle here. And then I can add just the base tone there, and I think that'll be enough. Maybe just like a little tiny shadow. Like obviously on a real person, I think the nostrils would be much more pronounced. But I don't want to go hard on them. This is an anime girl. Anime girls don't have noses. Noses aren't real. So I don't want to detail it too hard. It'll just start looking weird if I do. But it was looking weird when I didn't, so I figured I should do a little something. Okay, that's good. Let's go ahead and get the light from her cheeks in there. Anime girls breathe through their skin, it's fine. Or maybe more accurately, they breathe through their hair. So don't worry, the anime girl will not suffocate if you don't give her a nose. It's expected. Okay, so like I said, I really want to show the contours of those cheeks. So I'm really puffing them out. But I want to make sure that there is some light or some darkness under her eyes. This way the bottom of her eye here looks that much brighter. Because what makes things look bright is not a light color, it is contrast. It is contrast. So I definitely don't want to skimp out on the darkness in that area. And I just kind of keep reworking some areas here, but it's fine. I'll just keep brushing it on until I'm happy. I'm not quite sure how to light a nose like this, if I'm being honest. Normally, if I'm doing this kind of light, I'm either making it less realistic or more realistic. Having it somewhere in between is still a little bit awkward for me. So let's see here. Do the same on this side. And this one I wanted to make look like her cheeks being pulled up just a little, so it's gonna have a little bit harder of a shadow. Be slightly different shaped. There we go. And then I just had a slightly darker spot on the nose here. I thought it looked pretty good, so I decided to keep it. And I'll have to go back and add a bunch of the hair shadows and stuff again, but that's fine. Okay. Get this in there just right. And then I wanted to make the nose look a little bit more anime, so I'm gonna tone it down a little bit. Just gonna kinda let the shadow shape kinda just sit up here like this. Let's see, that angle is incorrect, but I think the idea is fine. There we go. Just a little bit more something on her nose, I guess. So this way it's not just a very light triangle, I guess. Okay. Yeah, I think that works. So now I will take my dark colors again, and I'll start going back over her hair. I still think that the light parts under her eyes look fine, so I don't think I need to really touch them up at all. But the dark shadows from her hair definitely need a little bit of help. They got a little bit mangled through all of this. But it's okay, it's worth it. It was worth it in order to get everything else just right. Okay. And I don't mind putting a little bit of extra detail from these hair shadows right here because this is right next to her eye. So this is like very much right in the focal point. So that's where I want to put all the detail. Don't want to skimp out there. All the detail, all the contrast. It'll be great. Okay, and then just on the eyelid here, I want a little highlight. This is also something that I saw very often when looking at reference, just little highlight on the eyelid here. Okay. That should be good. Yep, looks pretty good. God, here is still totally wrong though. And I don't feel like I can move on until I have all this right. Alright. This is where I go and look for the photo reference. Okay, let's see. Let's see what pictures of real ladies can get me. Come on, stock photos. Help me out here. Stock photos save my life so often. It's wonderful. Okay. So what am I not understanding about the perspective here? A lot of the ones I see don't have the viewer placed, like, below the lady, and I think that's the part that I'm having trouble with. So I want to find one that actually shows that part. So give me just a moment here. And I'll see what I can find. And I'll probably end up breaking out the hot pink again. Actually, before I do that, I should blush her cheeks and stuff. Okay, yeah, let's do that. That'll be way easier. So I just take an airbrush and very lightly paint over it until I'm happy. And then I put just a little bit on her nose. And her forehead, which not really relevant here. And her chin. And then just because of how I have things drawn here, I am going to give her just a little bit of a lower lip. It's not going to be strong, but it'll be there. Even that's probably a little bit too strong. Let me take it back just a little. It just got a little bit strong because I wanted to change the shape of it a little. I still do, so I'm gonna have to take it back at the end, but you know, I can do that. It's not that bad. There we go. Okay. And then I'll just put some cute little lights in a few places. Just to make things look a little bit nicer. Actually, no, I need to put those ones in a slightly different spot than usual. They need to go on the bottom of her cheeks instead of the top. Let's see, do I want any more? No, I think that's good. And I think I'm actually going to do something similar with her hand. I just feel like there should be a little bit of red right through here. Oh, I still have it set to erase. No wonder it's not working. Okay. All right, there we go. Okay. Now then, where was I? Pink. Yes. Gotta do more pink. I actually think that this looks okay. Like, I think that this is mostly correct. But this is something that mostly sits on top, so maybe that's what's throwing me off. Anyway. Pink. Let's go. What am I hoping to accomplish with pink? Shape of the body. I'm gonna get the torso in there. We're seeing it from the bottom. So this is too far down. Well, no, this is the entire torso. This is not just chest area. This is entire freaking torso. Yes, it's just because it's angled weird. So, this is the front. And we actually don't see the bottom here. The bottom is like somewhere back here. Because we see the top of the shoulders here. And there's like a little twist. Do I just have it going the wrong way? Because I have it going that way. But when I try to draw it like that, it doesn't make sense. Is this my entire problem? If that's the issue, I will be happy. Let me see where this goes. Let's follow this thought to the end. And then over here is where it'll connect to her hips. The hips will kind of start going down. It's just because of the way she's tilted forward. I think that might be it. Oh man, if that was the entire issue, I'm gonna be so happy. Okay. Yeah, you have to think of each piece of the body independent of each other and independent of any other perspective you have going on in the scene. Because the body can tilt any direction it wants. And it doesn't necessarily mean anything relative to anything else. I'm gonna go ahead and erase part of the dress here. Just so that maybe I can draw a little bit. So I'm gonna follow this train of thought to the end. Body is going this way. I just had it go in the wrong direction the whole time. Let's see if this theory is right. I mean, it would certainly explain why I couldn't fit anything on the body and have it look right if I was just doing it wrong the whole time. So this is going to be just the torso. Okay. And that would mean that if my center lines are doing things like that, let's go ahead and hide all of this. That actually... this guy goes this way. Oh man, I think that might have just been... that might have just been it. Okay. Okay. Now. Let's redo what I was doing with the yellow. Where we have the point here. And if I have the white lines I was using to help me define the top here. We have... where do I define the top here? Okay. That'll make the center, like, right about there. Right about here. And it'll go out like that. No, like... like this. No. That doesn't look right either. That seems okay. I'm gonna start liquefying this into place. Just so it's not so far off and throwing off my groove and doing everything else. Okay. So then we'll have the top. Probably doing something like this. So point like here. Point like here. And then the center kind of between them. Right about there. Okay. I want to make these shape just a little bit nicer here. Kind of help me feel the roundness. Okay. So now I will... It might be easier just to draw it at this point. So if I have that as the top, we come around like this. Let me get my dark color here. Okay, and then at some point I'll have to make the dress properly look like it's coming out of there, but let me start hiding my guidelines. I'm gonna have so many layers to delete when the time comes, but I do think that this is doing a little better. Yeah, I can kind of see the perspective and all of that now. Okay, okay. Just gotta push it a little further. And then... Right. Her body's going that way. This point is actually a little bit more over here, and I want this to come this way too. Gotta respect the angle of the body. Okay, that does look more accurate. Cool. I feel like they're a little bit close together, so I'm gonna pull them apart a little here. But in terms of just everything else, that does look better. Like, it's still not right. I still have a little bit more adjustment to do, but it feels much more in perspective to me. So... I think I really might have just had the body going the wrong way the whole time. It would explain why no matter how hard I tried, I could not get it to work. When your foundations are wrong, trying to build stuff on it will make it fall down. Just how it is. Okay, well, I'm happy. Maybe a little exasperated, but I'm happy. Oh, man. See, this is the importance of getting the structure right first. Because nothing will work if your structure is wrong. I'm going to invert my colors so I can see a little bit better. No, I'm not. I'm going to invert the colors of the dress so I can see a little bit better. Okay. I do still kind of feel like this should be a little further out to the side, though, so I'm gonna move it over here. I guess... Let's see, where's the center? I'm gonna get the center in the right spot, and then I'm gonna... stretch this out. Move it over here a little. And then I also need to respect the angle of the body when it comes to these top bits here. Let's get this over there. I still want this to be on the top, so it needs to be particular. The top part should not meet. They should definitely not meet. As you can see on the reference here, you're starting to get to the lower part of her chest by the time the top cups there meet together. So the shadows should not meet. So let's get this sitting on her chest now. And I'll just carefully start trying to get the shape the way that I want it to be. One thing I observed in pretty much every reference of irrespective of bust size, the bottom part here was a little bit flat. I'll probably make it a little bit less flat than it is in real life because it looks nice, but I do want to keep it relatively flat because otherwise I'm afraid that it's just going to completely mess with the perspective again. And I don't want to flail for another session. I really don't. Just like, please. Please, my skills, let me free. Just figure it out. I believe in you. Let me think. How should this be shaped here? Center is about there and there, I think. I'm just gonna mark them. So about here and here, I think. So I can draw around that. It'll look a little weird until I fix it, but I just need it for a reference. Otherwise, I will drive myself crazy trying to figure this out. Okay. And we get a little bit of overlap right here. Just a little bit. And I want to make sure that I have both of these, making everything look nice and round. Okay. Then over here, this needs to come respect the angle of the body just a little bit more here. Just a little bit more. Man, I can hear my kids derping hard upstairs. It's kind of incredible. I always wonder where they get their energy. Okay, there we go. That's a little better. I think I still have a little bit to fix here. The centers are just not quite lined up. Then I want this to be a little bit rounder. Okay. Flatter right through here. And I think I'm onto something, so I'm gonna go draw the back of the dress again. Okay. So I already know that from this, it goes like straight down. So that'll be like this. And then it goes up. And wraps around the body. So like straight down. And then up. Oh, let me see. How should you curve? I think you curve this way. Okay, and then a little bit over here. And then I guess I have to care about that arm that I was ignoring the entire time. I'm pretty sure I put it on the hips layer, so... Okay, looks like I put part of it on the hips layer. I will put the rest of it there, too. So we actually see a little bit of this arm now. I might actually have to do something to make it look more arm-like. Or maybe I'll just put a little bit more hair down there, I don't know. We'll see how lazy I feel. But... first... let's get the lights on the dress accurate. Okay. Looks better. It really does. Oh, I'm happy. Because, man, that was something. That was seriously something. Art is hard. Art is so hard. It's a good thing it's satisfying. So I want to put my midtones back, and yeah. I think this looks right. I'm not gonna work on it for probably the rest of today, but I think that looks okay now. I think I got it. I just had the body go in the wrong direction. These things happen. Okay, so what am I gonna work on instead? Because I don't really want to do more with the dress until I have, like, everything else good. I'm gonna make it a little longer here, I think. Oops, I need to get the frills if I'm gonna do that. So I'm just gonna kind of pull everything down a little. This is just for compositional purposes. Okay, there we go. Hello there, Yidget. Welcome. So at this point, I can kind of derp around with whatever I feel like drawing. What do I feel like drawing? What do I feel like drawing? Let's draw a magic circle. I feel like drawing a magic circle. You know, taking a break from bodies sounds fantastic. So let me go see if I can find a nice circle. I think there's actually one on the reference sheet here. The one on the scroll. Yes, I did. I have been working on it for a while. So let's see. this here. Yes, I think I will base the magic circle of my picture based on this, and I might even draw some of these runes at some point. But for now, let's just do that. Alright, this means I am not going to attempt to draw that in perspective. Let's not. That sounds awful. So instead, I'm just gonna draw it on top of her on a separate layer, and then I'll move it into perspective later. Oops, I have my airbrush selected. So, let's see. The outer one is not the thickest. I will be going back to that reference a lot. So, let's see. I think I'll just do the circles for now, so that I'll just do that with selections. And I'll shrink the selection... Let's see. Based on the size of this picture, I think 10 pixels should do it. No, that's a little bit thick. I want it to be a little bit thinner. So I'll grow it by about 2. That looks good. Okay. So I got the outer circle. So let's see. So that was, if I shrink my brush down, now that I have my circles, this way I can point to things. I've got this outer circle. Now I'm going to do the next one. It is very slight, or actually more accurately, I'm going to do the space between the two circles now. So the space between the two circles, I'd say, is a little bit more than twice the width of this. And since I shrunk the selection by 8 pixels to get the outside here, that should be about 20 pixels of shrinkage. And then I just fill the whole thing in with white. There we go. And now, the next bit is going to be the thickness of this part, which is going to be thinner than here, but not by a whole lot. So, maybe 18. I will shrink the selection by 18 pixels. And then delete. So far, so good. Alright, next. From here to here. So, let's see, from there to there. That is much thicker than everything else so far. I'd say it's probably about this. It's even a little bit more of everything. So if I started from the outside, shrunk it 18 in order to get to the next one. Or no, I shrunk it 20 to get to the next one, made the next piece about 18 pixels. So I'll say I should shrink it probably by like 75. I'm just thinking about the proportions here. Well, right now I'm not using any brush. I just made a circle, and then I'm shrinking the selection. But for the rest of the things, if you're talking about the rest of the picture, let me verify that this is the width I want it to be. No, that was too much. I guess I can hide this for a second, but for the rest of the picture, I literally used only the hard round, which on Krita is going to be basic 5 size, and the airbrush, which on Krita is airbrush soft. And then for like just select few things, I used a couple of Krita's wet brushes, which would be wet bristles rough and wet knife. I didn't use anything else. 99% of it was done with a hard round, with size, basic 5 size, and airbrush soft, and that's it. Anywho, let me grow this a little bit. Grow the selection by 20, I guess. A little bit more. There we go. That looks about right. Yeah, I'd say that distance looks good. I don't think you really have to learn very much. Make a canvas. Grab your hard round brush. And If your tablet is working, then you're good. You can go and draw. That's it. That's all you gotta do. Distance between here and here. 75 would not be enough for that. So I will just do a full 100. Even that doesn't look like enough. Oh wait, no, I'm not doing the distance, I'm doing the width. I'd say it's about the same as this one, so probably 18. It's okay. Krita is all based on drawing skills. It's just a program to help you. So, if you don't have drawing skills, the program won't help you that much. And if you do have drawing skills, then, you know, fantastic. But fortunately, if you don't have the drawing skills yet, you can learn them. Just keep practicing. It just takes time. Okay, so this is going to be the last circle. So this is where I want to shrink it by like 100. Even that, I'm not sure if it's going to be enough. Nope, that is not enough. Do another 100. I think I still need a little bit more. I'd say a lot more. Let's do another 100. Okay, that's a little bit too much. So maybe about half that. Let's try 50. Okay. And then the thickness of this line is much bigger than the other ones. So I need it to be thicker. So let's see, these other ones were like, this one was 15, this one was 18. I'd say I want it about twice as thick, so probably somewhere in the 30 or 35 range. Let's try 30 for now. A little bit more. I'll shrink it by 5 more. No, more than that. Let's do 10 instead. That looks pretty good. Okay. So there we go, I got the basic circles in. Let me just check them. But yeah, I'd say that looks pretty good. So now, I'm gonna go and do the decorations. Okay. So the first thing that I see is that between these two circles... Well, thank you. I'm not surprised though, I'm terrible at self-promotion. I just want to draw things, and when I go and try to do things that are not drawing, I'm just like... So, people probably have a hard time finding that I exist. At some point, I'll have to do the self-promotion bits, but oh my god, I hate it. I hate it so much. Okay. Ah, shoot, I don't have this centered. Let's move it to the center, and then I will grab my circle and also center it. There we go. And now I can start drawing some lines. How thick are these little lines connecting these? For some of this, I'm having trouble figuring out how much of it is intentional and how much of it is JPEG artifacts. Always the struggle. Okay, but I think... Fortunately, I don't have to make it like one-to-one the same. I can kind of improvise a little. Alright, good luck. Certainly a worthy use of time. Thanks for stopping by. Okay, let's move that on down. Is that a good thickness? I think that's a little too thick. That, however, looks pretty good. So I want this on the top and the bottom. Okay, and then let's see about how much space is between all of this. Okay, looks like I can do it just... Where is the center here? And then I think I just do it at roughly halfway between here. I'm trying to be careful and make sure that I actually get it where I want it to be. Maybe I should just do it from the center here and draw it all the way out. And then I can just erase the stuff I don't want. Yeah, that's a bit easier than trying to do it any other way. Oh no, I don't have it centered vertically. Okay, I have to go back. Okay, now I have things centered vertically, and I will push the lines that I already drew back down. Okay, all is well. Let's try that again. Okay, so I do it like that, erase what I don't want. Okay. And then I want another set kind of midway between those. Yeah, right about there seems good. Why are you not doing the thing? Why is it panicking? There we go. It's like, why are you not letting me pan? Okay, I think that's good. And then I'll do the same on this side, kind of halfway between... Oh yeah, and I didn't draw the ones here. That's right, I had to erase them. Okay. And about halfway between here and here. Okay. So there we go, I think that's the first set. And yep, it all looks pretty good. Now the next set is going to be interesting because... Oh man, look at that. How is it set up? Relative to these little... It looks like they go like halfway between the little spines that I just put in. So I do not want this mirrored. And let's see, where do they touch? They do not touch the layer here. They just go across. Okay, got it. I think 3 spines is about correct. So we have the one that first one that it goes past, then the next. Okay, no, it's only 2 spines. Okay. So to here. And about halfway between them. So then I go to the next one, about halfway between them. And I just keep going around, I guess. Hopefully this is right? Because it'll probably, if I'm doing it wrong, I will probably take a little while to notice, unfortunately. I do love drawing magic circles, though. They're so much fun. Very, very technical. Sometimes. Other times I just, like, write a word in messy cursive, and then duplicate the layers a whole bunch and do it that way, but if I'm actually constructing it, I treat it like architecture, and I think it's cool. So the spine is hiding in her hair. Oh no, I did do it wrong. Oh no, I think I can still make it work though. I'll just make it several interconnected ones. I think it's fine. It's very effective. Here, I'll do one real quick just because it's really cool. I'll do it in hot pink. So I don't know, what do I want to say? Hello. And it's more effective if, I'll just go ahead and center everything. Oops, okay. I'll just go ahead and center it, but, it doesn't really matter. So, hello. And then you merge it together. And then you merge it together. And then I rotate it 90 degrees. And then I just rotate it again like 45. And it's really, really effective. I'll just do a quick 45 here. So you can make one that looks pretty cool here. But I'm trying to imitate a specific one, so I can't just, I can't just kind of mess around. But it's really quite cool. Okay. Anyway, back to what I was doing. I think I had my brush at 7 pixels here. Okay. I'll just go around again. Over here. And I think I just have to go around like one more time. And I think that will be accurate to her circle here. If anything, I feel like I have this not going down far enough. So maybe I just have too many little divots here. That's probably it. I don't know. I'm gonna do it again. Yeah, I'm not liking the way this is turning out, so... Let's see. If I have less of these little duders. Because basically I feel like the angle of the circle going around there is too steep. So it tells me that I think I do have one at the top. I think that is correct. I guess I just deleted everything. That's fine. But I probably don't have one exactly on the bottom. It's probably... I'll just do it from the middle. It'll be easier that way. Here. No, I can't have it do that. I really like having this way I know where the middle is. Let me just label the middle then. Okay, so now I always know where the middle is. I should have done that on a different layer. It doesn't matter, it's fine. Okay, so I think there's gonna be some points where I want to do a horizontal symmetry and some points where I want to do vertical symmetry. I wish I could count them, but the image is too small. How many points does this have? 1, 2... 3, 4... Let me see, where do I start? Okay, and they actually do connect. Okay. 2, 3, 4. So if it's skipping 2 divots, 4 points. 1, 1, 2. So we have 1, 2. 2 divots for every line is 8 in total. So here I have 3, so there actually is an even number. So this is correct. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so no, this was right. Cool. I just had some extra ones, I guess. Okay, I'll take it. So it was actually simpler than what I was trying to do. Nice. Okay, let's try that again. So once again, I will start halfway between these. With the line tool, not the brush tool. I want straight lines, not, not runaway lines like that. Oh yeah, now it's going much closer to the edge. Oh, that is fantastic. I do not have this right. Oh ho. Maybe I don't have that circle quite the right size. Well, that's okay. I can redraw that one. I have it all on a different layer, so I will just adjust its size accordingly. This is why I wanted to do the outside part before the inside part. Yeah, so they're just a bunch of squares. It's amazing how complicated a bunch of squares can look if you get enough of them in one small area. Okay, and then up here. And there should be one more, right? But I hit all the spots. Did I miscount? 1, 2, 3. Okay, I did. I needed one more set. Okay, but I know what to do for that. Okay. So instead of there, basically what I want to do is this. Oh wait, I'm using my mouse. Or my tablet. I should be using my mouse. My mouse makes the line width more consistent. With no variability. Okay, and this does mean I'm gonna have to adjust some of the other ones, so... Okay. It is what it is. Alright. How am I gonna do this? So I'll start with the 45. I don't think the 45 is right, though. One, two, three, four, five, six. No, that's not right. Okay. I'm just gonna clear the whole thing and try again. I'm just trying to make each of these pie pieces roughly the same size. It's probably fine if I don't get it one-to-one correct. But I'd like to get it close. I think that looks okay. This one's a little bit bigger, so I'm gonna do it one more time. Make that one a little bit smaller. This is the downside to eyeballing it instead of using math. Oh, and I didn't bring that out all the way. I should probably use math. But I'm not sure how to do math in Krita. Someday I will learn. But that day is not today. Okay, I think that's probably close enough. So I'll go take out all the rest here. And I want to double check and make sure that I actually reached the edges and all that, because I'm not sure if I did. If I did on one side, I did on the other side, because it's all symmetrical, so... Okay, seems good. Alright, take 3. Here we go. I mean, it's the same thing. Precise measurements is math. So. Know just how to properly divide up everything. I'm sure Krita has functions. So, that does that for you. But, I'm not sure how to use them. So I've just been kind of eyeballing it. Okay, and they do still connect the way I expect, so... And this actually looks better relative to that inner circle, which is also very nice. So I might not quite be able to finish the magic circle today, but I should get close. Like, I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to do that inner triangle thing that it has going on. We shall see. But for now, I'll just get these going all the way around. And it still looks like there's more in the drawing that I'm referencing, so I'm hoping I didn't draw this wrong again. If I did, I think I'll just deal with it. I think this, considering what it's going to be used for, like it's just going to be down here, I don't think I have to be this precise. But it just looks like there's one more. Is there one going around on the pivots themselves? Looks like there might be, so I'll go ahead and draw it like that too. So I guess I'll have two more, which is fine by me. And we skip. And we skip. 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 And back. Alright, and then here we skip. And skip. And skip. And back to the beginning. Okay, yeah, I think that looks fine. So then from there, there's some that have like little spots. So it looks like a diamond, skip, just go all the way around. I have a few extra, but that's fine. So I'll just plop it here, I guess. Mine are not quite consistently shaped. And if I was going to be precise with my drawing here, I'd go back and fix that, but frankly, this is fine. One, two. Okay, there we go. Yeah, and I think the rest is literally just this inner part. So I want two very large triangles. One is just an outline, one is filled in. Yes. So I'll do the outline one first. The outline one is pointing toward the bottom. And I think the line is a bit thicker than 7 pixels here. So I want to say it's less than this one, but more than this one. If this one was about 40 and this one was about 18, then I will say that it's about 30. That sounds good. Let's try 30. Okay. So I want it about in the middle here. Actually, I don't, do I? Yeah, it's more at the top. Okay, so I can kind of eyeball it. Here. But I do want it to be in the middle here, so. I'd say that looks like a good size to me. So I'll mirror this. Oh, shoot, I drew it on a bad layer. I don't have to delete it. I can keep it. Because all of these are far enough away that all I really have to do is pull it out here and cut this to a new layer, and then I can do the thing. There we go. So now we got the star in the middle. And let's see. How is it filled in? The corners are what's filled in. Okay. So yeah, I just want to Why is my thing not doing the thing? There we go. Okay. I'm at the point where I feel like I can start reusing layers. I'm gonna be merging all of these together at the end, so... Alright, so top one. And then the ones on the side there. And then I think once I finish this, I'm not going to put it in perspective today. I am just going to get it ready, and I will do that next time. It won't be that hard, but it is getting late. I am almost out of time because I have stuff I gotta do. So unfortunately my star's a little bit squat there, but again, it's fine. I'm not gonna worry about it. And in the middle there, there's like a circle. And it has some texture, so I think I can just kind of make up what I want here. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't look bad or anything, it's just, It's one of those things. I could make it a little bit more precise if I was so inclined. So my circle here is going to be a little bit oblong, and that's okay. Okay, so how do I want to handle the little textury bits inside? It's, too small for me to really be able to make it out. Kind of looks like an orange to me, so I'm gonna make it like an orange. So I'll just cut out some kind of wavy lines through here. And... I can do that better. Come on. Oh yeah, and I should definitely cut out that part too. So yeah, we'll make this just look kind of like an orange. And I am not being super precise about it, but that's fine. And then I'll just draw some little like veiny parts just coming around. And I think that will replicate the texture that I see there well enough. Okay. And I think that's good. So there we go. Let me double check it, make sure I'm not missing anything. But no, I think that should look pretty accurate to what's there. So I'm going to merge all these together. We're going to call it Magic Circle. And I also lied. I'm going to go ahead and put it in place because I feel like it. Let me see. I should actually just take it with me. Alright, let's find that other Magic Circle layer. Here we are. So now I can remove my placeholder. And I will just plop him in. I want the foreground. I want to know where this should end up. And knowing where the rocks are will help me out. Okay. So here we go. Kind of wanted her to be in the middle of it. Gotta make it a little bit bigger here. And this is why I didn't worry about being too precise. Because it was going to be heavily distorted. I just wanted to be precise enough. Just enough. Okay, and I think that's good. So now I'm going to create a copy and blur it so that this way it'll look like it's glowing. There we go, and near the end I will add more effects to it. But there we go, I've got shiny magic circle now and I am pleased. I like drawing them, they're fun. So I'll put all my other effects back on, just so I can kind of get a feel for how things are looking. And I'm pretty happy. Heck yeah. I like it. I am so glad I finally figured out her chest area. Because that has been driving me nuts. And I think it looks so much better now. But I think that this is where I will stop for today. So let me adjust a magic circle, but thank you all for coming, and I do hope you're able to make something wonderful today, and that maybe you can also figure out something that's been bothering you. Where the heck did I put it? Look, it just needed to be a little bit to the left, okay? I didn't want to leave it in the wrong spot. Okay. I'll see you all tomorrow.